din. Huwag natin ding sabihin na lahat ng praile ay masama, no? So, balanse lang, balanse, no? Kailangan i-recognize natin kasi baka sabihin nila I'm whitewashing the colonialism. Yes. Colonialism is pure evil. The Spaniards did so much bad things to us, but that doesn't mean that there were no good Spaniards. There were no good interactions. There were no good interactions of culture, of people, because we're all, in many ways, we're victims of our history.
Yeah.
Well, pwede naman nagkataon lang, Espanyol ka, but your heart is with people. Which we have a lot of cases in the Philippines.
Yeah. Kasi parang Pero maraming bumabati sa simbahan dahil sa abuso ng mga ilang pari noon.
Okay.
So bilang historian, paano ito dapat tinitignan sa tamang konteksto?
Well, una sa lahat, tao ang mga praile. Diba? So minsan may mga nagagawa silang hindi dapat nilang ginagawa, diba? Batay sa kanilang vows. Na of course, as a human being, nararamdaman pa rin nila kahit na gusto nilang i-deny. Diba? Pero ang ano kasi dyan, yung makikita natin dyan, ang praile kasi nagiging powerful siya because of the length of stay in a parish.
Okay.
So whether he's a good priest or a bad priest, the mere fact that he becomes so powerful, yun yung questionable. So, mas powerful pa kasi siya sa civil government. Dahil ang isang civil official, 3 years lang, tanggal na, palit na naman ng bago. Pero ang kura paroko, 40 years, 50 years sa isang parokya. So he gets so much power. And even if you're a good priest, there is a temptation to become too powerful. So siguro yun yung naging parang yung context na bakit may mga nag-abuso ng mga praile. Now, ang problem dyan, kung lahat ng praile sasabihin mo masama, that would be so unfair. Because kailangan pag-aralan mo yung buhay ng first Archbishop of Manila. Domingo Salazar.
Yes.
Diba? Na nagreklamo sa yung Bartolome de las Casas of the Philippines.
Okay.
Nagreklamo siya sa hari. Bakit ganito ang ginagawa ninyo sa mga Indio? Kaya nga nagkaroon ng synod para pag-usapan yung kung paano ba tinatrato ang mga Pilipino. Then you also have si Martin Derada, Agustinian yan, who used to be a warrior.
Okay.
Diba? And he defended the Filipinos. Maraming priest. I'm sure the Bishop Father Ezequiel Moreno was not an abusive priest. I'm very sure about that. He was a kura ng Las Piñas and other places, di ba? During the time of the Spaniards. So, ano yan? May mga priests na mabubuti. And we have diocesan priests, secular priests at that time, like Father Mariano Gomez. Di ba? Father Mariano Gomez was not only a priest, he was a builder of infrastructure for the people. He negotiated peace treaties with the rebels in the name of Malacanang at that time. Diba? It was so unfortunate that they were executed by the Spanish regime. Pero maraming kontribusyon ang mga pari din. Huwag natin ding sabihin na lahat ng praile ay masama. No? So, balanse lang, balanse. No? Kailangan i-recognize natin kasi baka sabihin nila I'm whitewashing the colonialism. Yes. Colonialism is pure evil. The Spaniards did so much bad things to us, but that doesn't mean that there were no good Spaniards. There were no good interactions. There were no good interactions of culture, of people, because we're all, in many ways, we're victims of our history.
Yeah.
Well, pwede naman nagkataon lang, Espanyol ka, but your heart is with people. Which we have a lot of cases in the Philippines.
Yeah. Kasi parang nagkaroon ng stigma, di ba? Nag-aaral yung Noli Me Tangere.
Yes.
Because of that, is Padre Damaso, yung character na yun, parang yun yung tumatak
Nagkaroon kasi ng anti-friar sentiment after the Spanish regime. After the Spanish regime, ang problem lang, of course, you have to temper that kind. Kasi propaganda yun
Yeah.
I'm not saying nagsisinungaling si Rizal. Because there were really definite cases of abuse.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the propaganda movement, it's really a political movement.
Yes.
So you have to temper it with historical, not necessarily facts, but with historical mindset that not everything was bad. Not all of the priests were bad, diba? Yun yung sinasabi ko dyan. You have to temper it with that kind of perspective.
Yeah.
And that the church is a human institution. We just say it's infallible because it's of the Lord, but it's a human institution and the Lord allows it to fail sometimes.
Yeah.
To teach us lessons.
Purification sa simbahan.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And sometimes we have to learn those lessons in the hard way.
Tama. Kasi kaya ko rin yan. Ito yung common na bati ko sa mga anti-Catholic sa Katoliko eh. Yung mga pare niya, nagpapatay kay Rizal. Yung ganyan, di ba?
Yeah. Pero Rizal was also a convicted, actually, yan yung tanong sa akin kahapon sa Facebook.
Okay.
Direct message.
Okay.
Di ba sa mga praile yung nagpapatay kay Rizal? Kasi yun yung sinabi ni Bishop Aglipay doon sa doon sa speech na kay Quezon, doon sa film eh.
Yes.
So parang sinabi niya na, parang ang sabi ko doon, the friars wanted perhaps Rizal to punish Rizal. But the ultimate sentence was given by the civil government. The one who signed the death warrant was the Governor General. You can always argue that he was influenced by the friars, but in the end, he is acting as the government. Diba? So yun yung makikita natin doon.
Okay. Pag-usapan naman natin yung sa Poong Itim na Nazareno. So, paano naging bahagi ng ating Filipino identity yung devotion nito?
Tandaan natin na dala-dala yan ng mga Recoleto, Augustinian Recollects. We do not know the date. Kasi usually, pag may bangko sila nakalista yung mga imahen.
Okay.
For some strange reason, walang record sa mga Recoletos ng pagdating ng Jesus Nazareno. But, meron ng Cofradia del Nazareno around early 1600s. So we can assume na early 1600s, before the half of the 1600s, 17th century, may Nazareno na sa Intramuros. So una siyang dinala sa San Juan Bautista de Bagumbayan, which is now Rizal Park, Luneta.
Okay.
Doon ang una niyang church. Diyan pinasok siya sa Recoletos Church sa Intramuros. Now, there was a time in the 1700s, na may isang Santo Papa, nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan, he encouraged popular devotions around the world. So, syempre, paliwanag lang natin, syempre, ang pagsamba ng simbahang Katolika ay ecclesiastical. Misa, di ba, ganyan. Yung popular devotion falls on another category. Kasi, hindi ganyan ang pagsamba ng Europa. No? Pero, for some strange reason, the Catholic Church, hindi man strange reason, pero the Catholic Church recognizes na may, and ito, eventually, it became a document, di ba? Lumen Gentium yata, if I'm not mistaken, in the Second Vatican Council, that there's what we call sensus fidelium and sensus fidelis, the sense of the faith and the sense of the faithful, which means, even if you do not hear what the church teaches, there is a sense of the faith that comes from the people on how to express their faith in Jesus Christ or in the divine. So, one of the popes recognized that, and then that was implemented here by Bishop Basilio Sancho Santa Justa y Rufina. Okay? That decree was implemented, and this is where he said he blessed, we do not know if there was a replica, but he blessed an image of the Jesus Nazareno in Quiapo, which is outside Intramuros.
Okay.
Intramuros, enclave of the rich. Quiapo is a suburb, so nandyan yung mga Indio. And that devotion became very popular. And of course, eventually, that became the, hindi pa translasyon ng tawag yung famous possession of the Jesus Nazareno, na pagdating ng mga early 1900s, nakikita mo na yung balyahan. Diba? Meron ng people trying to climb the andas.
Yes.
Yung andas nun, totoong andas. Yung may mahabang, pat-pat. Na doon. Kasi ang pinagkakaguluhan doon.
May nakita pa akong video niyan.
Oo. Ang pinagkakaguluhan kasi doon, yung pupunta ng ilalim. Sino yung pupunta ng ilalim? Okay. So, ganito yan. Kapag tinignan mo yung Nazareno, di ba may lubid?
Okay.
Yung lubid, wala namang kinalaman sa pagtakbo ng karosa yan.
Tama.
Wala. Andas ang tawag, pero andas pa rin siya na nilagyan ng gulong. Okay. Walang kinalaman yung lubid sa paganda ng Nazareno. Kaya nga, kapag nagkagulo na, merong internal device doon, puputulin niya. Sabi nila, napatid ng lubid. Paano mo mapapatid yun ang kapal-kapal?
Tama.
Nakakita ka ba ng lubid ng Nazareno ang kapal? May internal device doon na kapag ka-unrolling na yung puputulin niya yung lubid. Dahil independent naman kasi. O bakit ngayon? Bakit may lubid? ang lubid ay extension ng pingga. Pingga ang tawag doon sa patpate, ng andas. Para hindi kayo nagsisiksikan lahat doon sa kahoy.
Okay.
Lahat kayo pwede nang pumasan kasi yung lubid na yun na yung extension. Of course, dahil tayo mga Pilipino ay mayroong belief sa relics,
Yeah.
sa connection. Relics,
Yes.
sa connection ng divine sa mga bagay. Na meron naman tayo nun kasi may mga mutya tayo yung mga anting-anting, di ba? So, naniniwala tayo na once na yung tali na yan, na ikabit sa Nazareno, sa andas ng Nazareno, may power yan. So, kaya pag napatid yung lubid na yun, ano na yun, may mga kukuha na ng hibla, ayun. So, naniniwala sila na